I thought when I woke up to the year 2020 that we'd be in a post fuckery society, and apparently we're not in a post fuckery society. So this is just going to be a general vlog because I was at an anime con today, and what I was waiting for, it was Tampa Anime Day. So, but while I was waiting for a panel to get started, I was just sitting around and I was looking at my phone, and something on Facebook caught my eye. It was some article on one of like the interracial boards that I follow was talking about, and it was some article, and it says, quote, "Hey sister, white men only date elite black women, and you probably aren't one of them." Can I just say on the face of this is the most gross, fucked up article I think I've read in quite the long while. It's no other word for it other than just fucking gross. It's the grossest thing in the world, and I'm goddamn appalled by it. So I am going to read this. I don't know if I'm going to read this fuckery in its entirety, but I'll, I'll just read. I'll just read it. Okay. Truth bomb. Here's the rub. Black men typically date leftover white women that white men don't, all in bold, in like not bold, but in all caps, don't want. On the flip side, white men generally date and attract black women who most black men find desirable, but they can't have themselves. Sounds a bit confusing, right? Let me try again. In most cases, if you see a black man in public with a white woman, she's probably average or worse. Fat, pale, sloppy looking, or alarmingly thin and sickly. These are prototypical traits of white women that regular black men typically attract. White men, on the other hand, no matter how much money they make or the type of cars they drive, even though they both tend to be pretty good, when they choose, all again in caps, to date a black woman, she's usually top notch. The type of black chick who attracts white men is usually pretty smart, or very pretty, smart, successful, cultured, and strangely always dark skinned, i.e., Lupita Nyong'o. I apologize if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. Tika Sumpter, Serena Williams, and what's her name from the movie Queen and Slim. You couldn't even fucking bother to look up who this was. You just boiled her down to a vague reference to a movie that this person was in. I don't know who this person is either, but you could at least take the fucking time to look this woman's name up. Whatever. So what am I really saying? What's the message here? It's simple. Sisters, many of y'all decided to experiment with interracial dating in 2020. You want to try something new. I've seen it all over Facebook and Twitter. However, before you attempt once again in bold fucking letters to get your Sana Lathan on, you should ask yourself, am I qualified to date a white man? Am I qualified to date white men? Actually, I should be more specific. Are you qualified to be with a desirable white man? You can always search a trailer park and get one that way. But how is dating Trailer Park Charlie any different than dating a regular old, I don't like using the N word, so I ain't gonna say it, from the block? Not much. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying white is better than black or vice versa. I'm saying men have strict dating standards, especially for sisters. They ain't checking for you, Lakeisha, if you're 65 pounds overweight, underemployed, and full of stretch marks from multiple pregnancies. That's right, if you're a baby mama or a Kmart employee, because fucking Kmart is real fucking relevant in 2019 going into fucking 2020, but what the fuck ever, and I lost it because I was having this rant. Hold on, I gotta go back down. My phone flipped, and now it's all fucked up. Hold on. God damn it. Okay. Okay, I found it. That's right. If you're a baby mama or a Kmart employee, because again, that's fucking relevant, it's probably because you stick with Negroes because John, Tim, and Dan ain't checking for your broke, obese, shelf-stocking ass. Just saying, don't fool yourself. That's enough. it goes on to basically saying that white men only date like quality black women with an education, and they're not like baby mamas, and just all the gross stereotypical thing that people think black women are, coming out of, I'm assuming this is a black guy. I am fucking flabbergasted. Okay, let me try to before I get into the fat phobic fuckery that was in that article, before I even get into that shit, first of all, yes, I am one half of an interracial relationship. I haven't dated inside my race since I was probably about 19 years old. That was the last time I had a black relationship. But I started dating outside of my race because, to be honest, I was never black enough for, and this is something I've never mentioned. Like, my friends know, but it's one of those things, I was never black enough to be with a black man. I always, oh, why are you trying to talk white? Oh, why you listen to classical music? Oh, why you this? It was always all these questions about why I'm into the shit that I'm into. I'm into the shit that I'm into because that's what the fuck I like. So, you don't like it, you obviously don't like me, you obviously don't want to be with me, so why don't we just call it even and we both fuck off in our own general directions. So that's for openers. So in dating outside of my race, I found people that were generally more accepting of the fact that I wear Lolita and I like anime and I took Japanese language courses and that I listen to Mozart and that I sing opera. I've generally found people that were way more accepting outside of my community than I did from people that were inside my community. So there is that. But you don't ever want to date somebody solely based on their race or their ethnicity or their religion, or you really want to be in a relationship with somebody who's genuinely gonna like you for who the fuck you are. And I know it sounds cheesy and like some shit from fucking Sesame Street 40 years ago, but I find people are more accepting when you are genuinely yourself than if you try to put on airs and try to be something that you're not. So that's just for openers. The whole thing, I can't speak on the baby mama issue. I don't have children. I'm like struggling to have children right now. So I can't speak to like women who've had a child or more than one child. I don't know. I'm not I don't know what that kind of dating pool is like. So I can't speak to that. So I'm not going to speak to that. As for being underemployed, again, I'm sure if you have a good personality and you're genuine and you're personable, because a lot of finding a relationship of any kind is just, you're just a personable person. Like, somebody come up to you and just have a conversation and you're not going to be weird or outrageous or inappropriate or whatever the case may be. So it boils down to if you have a personality that jives well with someone else, that's what gets you in a relationship, not the color of your skin. And as for the fat phobic fuckery, I can't. Y'all know my struggles with weight. Again, if this was 2016, I was 264 pounds. I did gain weight over the holiday, which I knew that was going to happen. That was a fucking given. Because, like I said, I was eating Pettifours and drinking, like, not heavily, but I was drinking a lot. And they were mixed-ass drinks, and mixed drinks have a lot of calories in it. So I gained probably about 13 pounds over the holiday. Am I upset about it? Yes. Am I going to freak out about it? No. Am I ever going to be a size 22 again? No, because I love wearing Free People. I got on Free People right now, and I'm just like, oh, yes, I still can fit in me some Free People, so let's keep doing that. But I'm going to tell you two stories. One I've told before, and one I've not told before. So let's start with the one that I've told before. way before I met my husband, I was 26. 26. I had just gotten out of a really awful relationship that lasted 9 months, and I was back on the dating circuit. So after that was said and done, I went on a date, and I was online, and I got contacted by this British guy, which he didn't have a picture of his face, but he had a picture of his torso and chest, and it was fantastic. And I'm not one of those women that are like into men's bodies like that, but his body was fantastic. So first I was like, I don't know. I think this was before catfishing became like a real thing, but I was like, I don't know. We'll call him. I almost called him by his real name. We'll call him Derek. So, Derek and I were contacting for a few weeks, and Derek, like I said, lived in the UK, and he told me he was some kind of executive for some kind of fucking company. I don't remember what the company was, but he was some kind of high-level executive. So, he and his wonderful self was like, well, I will be in the Philadelphia area conducting meetings. Would you like to go on a date? I was like, I fucking guess so. So I went and we made arrangements to meet at Fat Tuesdays on South Street, which I do believe is still there. So I wore, I think at that point I was like a size 18, 20, but I wore, one of my dresses I could still fit in was like a 16, 14. So I wore that on our date, and I just looked real regular, and I put a little bit of makeup on because I never really wear a lot of makeup. And I waited for him because I got there early because I didn't have a driver's license at the time. So, because I had to take public transportation and walk a little bit to get to where Fat Tuesdays was. So, I get to Fat Tuesdays and I'm waiting for him. And he was like, he told me in the last email, he was like, I'm going to be wearing a blue suit with a yellow tie. He walks into fucking Fat Tuesdays, and I see him, and my goddamn jaw hit the floor hard. He was Derek, or whatever the fuck I was calling him, was absolutely gorgeous. His name isn't Damien, by the way. Derek, or whatever the fuck I said. So, he was gorgeous. He had dark brown hair, dark brown eyes. He was 6+ feet tall. He was real tall. And the piece de resistance was that hot ass British accent, and boyfriend was Wayne. I was like, holy fucking shit. Boyfriend is amazing. So we went on this date, and this woman I remember was kind of watching us and looking like, I can't believe he's with her. And I could kind of see her, like, the wheels in her head, like, they're obviously not on a date. She's probably, like, some employee of his. And he kisses me in front of this woman. And she was fit to be fucking tied. I was just like, well, goddamn, because that kiss was, I'm, like, fucking blushing right now. My face is all hot. So, and again, I was, like, a size 18. And this buff, gorgeous British man was all over me like a bum on a bologna sandwich. Had nothing to do with my damn weight. So that was one story. We went on a few dates, but he had to travel for work, and our relationship just wasn't going to pan out. But oh Jesus, the man was fucking hot. It's the hottest man I'd ever dated. So story number 2. So, since me and Hot British Man, because this was the same year, since me and Hot British Man didn't work out because he had to travel for work and he only came to the Philadelphia area, I think all of maybe 2 or 3 times, and I only saw him 2 out of those 3 times. So, enter later on, I think that was in the summer. Enter later on in the fall. Want to use his name too. We'll call him Chris. I met Chris online, and Chris and we built up a rapport really quickly, and Chris was really sweet. Chris lived in fucking northern New Jersey. He was like, he lives across the bridge from New York City. He lived way far. That's like at least 2.5 hours on the Jersey Turnpike to get to Philadelphia. He went and he was like, "You want to go on a date?" And I was like, "Sure. You sure you want to drive all the way down from like upstate New Jersey?" And he's like, "I don't mind. You seem like a really nice person, and I want to meet you for a date." So we went on a date. Boyfriend, later on, he was already some pretty high executive type. He drove me home in his very, very fucking fancy BMW. And I was impressed with his BMW. And he was really cool. Actually, he was one of the really nicest guys I had ever dated. Not that the British dude was mean or anything. He was really cool too, but Chris was real awesome. So, he surprised me because he seemed like he was one way, but he was actually the other. So that was real kind of fun. So we went on our date, we hung out, and actually that was the first time I had ever had escargot, which is French for snail. And escargot, I know everybody tells me the same thing, that escargot, you can't put salt on escargot because they'll disintegrate, but I keep insisting that they're dead, so it might change their molecular structure, so maybe you could put salt on them, but I guess not because they were cooking them in butter and garlic. I am allergic to escargot, by the way. So, and I found out that night that one, I didn't really like escargot, and two, that's fine because I'm really mad allergic to it. I had a welt across my face. Like, I ate that, it got a welt, and then like this weird, on my right boob, I got this weird, like, welt. My body was like, no, that's going to be a hard no on the escargot. Because we went to some fancy French restaurant on South Street. My date stayed on South Street, by the way. So, me and Chris went on our fancy French restaurant date. And again, I am a size 18 at this point. 18, 20. I am heavy. I wasn't at my heaviest, but I was not then. So, the idea that you can't find somebody because you're fat. And then he makes the point of saying, which this really pisses me off, talking about the type of sisters you end up dating are refined, reserved, self-contained, self-respecting, and presentable. They're not all in caps again, ratchet, or worse, in caps, fat. Like, it's just like the most egregious, disgusting thing in the world to be overweight or whatever. Fuck you. It's like, bitch, you're probably sitting somewhere because don't nobody want your dumb ass. Because you have a lot of fucking opinions that really are full of shit, and you need to sit down and shut the fuck up. How about some of that? So, look, I may have lost 100+ pounds, but I'm still not going to tolerate people saying, because it's such fucking bullshit. I married my husband and I was a 22. My wedding dress was a size 22. And I have no regrets about any of it. Yes, some of it I feel like, well, what my life could have been if I was thinner, but I'm thinner now, so what the fuck difference does it make? But ultimately, it's not about that. Look, people are attracted to whoever they're going to be attracted to. Skinny, fat, whatever, tall, short, blah, blah, blah. I am not one to judge somebody for being what the fuck ever they are. Especially if you're struggling with your weight, the last thing you want to hear is you'll never find happiness, you'll never find a relationship, you'll never find anything if you're fat. And that's just simply put a big load of fucking horse shit. Do not listen to bullshit like that. If you want to work on your weight, work on it. If it's something that you feel like you have to change, then change it. But if you're happy the way you are, be happy the way you are. Because you can find happiness at any point. It doesn't matter what fucking weight you are. Because again, hot British man and dude drove 2.5 hours on the Jersey Turnpike to meet me. And I wasn't what the size the fuck I am now. So, and both of those dudes were executives. Like I said, Chris ended up ultimately being a VP for something, an international VP, I do remember him telling me, at IBM. So, fuck that article. suck my fucking theoretical fucking dick. Fuck that article. So, I just hate shit like that. It just pisses me off. That was, like I said, that was probably the grossest article I had seen in a while. And I'm just so fucking disgusted that they threw it in my face. And find happiness with somebody who finds happiness with you. Don't feel like you have to change in order to be with X, Y, and Z person. Just be genuine. And as for the rest of it, underemployed, there's a lot of underemployed people who are in happy, committed relationships. I'm sure with people who make more money than them. So, I don't know. I don't fucking know. But that article is gross and dude can fuck off. So, that is all I have. And I'm going to try to play with my camera. And I think I'm going to do a Lolita vlog. Probably, if not tomorrow, then I'll definitely do one Monday. So, that is all I have for now. And I gotta go lie down because I'm fucking disgusted. And I held on to that fucking article for, like, I read this shit at, like, 1 o'clock. It's 7:18 right now. So I held on to that rant for a minute. But, again, that dude fucking eat a bag of clappy dicks. So, later.